What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video here on Apex Academy. We're continuing the Shopify product page tutorial. And the reason why we're doing this, guys, and the reason why this is so important is because we have to learn how to optimally build product pages. Now, if you guys haven't seen episode number 1, it's right here. Let me go ahead and go to the channel so you guys can actually see what video I'm talking about. Just hit the videos button, and there it is. Side note, guys, on all videos I produce for this specific series, you hit the show more button here, and the description has episodes, every episode kind of listed, all right? So just be aware of that. Whenever you want to click on an episode and watch it, you could just click on it, and it will literally take you there. Okay, guys? So that's just a little FYI. Now, let's talk about where we left off last, which was where we're going to break down kind of the features here. So we talked about the product zoom. We talked about, the product catalog scroll. We talked about all that. Let's go ahead and talk about product limited, which is kind of this feature here. And this is a timer to decrease the stock of the product, okay? Now, the times in which this is a very powerful tool, by the way, guys. And, if you use an app, you're probably going to have to pay for something like this. But I want to talk about when to use this and when to use it properly. Because there's certain periods of time when you should use it. So when you drive traffic to your business, guys, okay, there are ways to essentially precondition mentally the consumer. There are ways to essentially give the consumer an idea before they go ahead and purchase your product, okay? And what you want to do in a product like this, right, where it says X amount left in stock, you're going to have to, by nature, emphasize that you have limited stock in your business. Does that make sense? I just want everybody to make sure they all understand, everybody understands this. If you're going to use something like this, when you drive traffic, when consumers are on the website, however they get to your website, you have to emphasize before they see something like this that there is limited stock available. You guys have to you have to make that very, very clear to the consumer. So, for example, if you're running Facebook ads, you have to state somewhere in the ad that's readily readable, stock is limited, or something similar to that effect. If you're doing a TikTok ad, same thing. If you're doing whatever kind of ad, same exact thing. Okay? If people are organically reaching your website, somewhere on the website, you can add a top bar. You could do whatever you could do to essentially tell people that be aware stock is limited. Now, why does that matter? Well, what you're doing is you're preconditioning, okay, on a micro level, they're called micro commitments, the consumer to be agreeable with the condition that you are showing, okay, or that you're reflecting. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Let's talk about the condition. What is the condition? Well, the condition is that there's limited stock, correct? Now, whether it's relevant or not, if the stock is limited or not limited, doesn't matter. But just pay attention to what I'm saying here. The condition is that the stock is limited. This is the belief of the consumer. But most people, when you tell them, hey, stock is limited, they don't really care. They're not really paying attention, right? It only changes when they see something that tells you stock is limited, right? So if you write all over on the homepage, stock is limited, something like that, well, the consumer is going to be like, okay, stock is limited, but what does that really mean? It doesn't really hold any value. Next thing they know, they come to the product page and they really see a stock countdown timer. And so what that is you've created now micro agreements. And what these micro agreements are is essentially it's a checklist to build up trust, okay? For example, when I shop on Amazon, when I first of all know that I have Amazon Prime, I know I'm going to get the product in a fast period of time. Well, what is that? That is a micro agreement to the objection that I might have had. Us as consumers, we're always looking for objections, okay? We're always looking for things that hold us back from buying, and that's just natural. Even if you're a spender and you're not a saver, it's natural, right? We always come up with reasons why we shouldn't do something. And we've evolved this way, guys. We can't really fight it. We have evolved this way as human nature because back then, right, you had more things to hold you back in life than to move you forward. If you were a hunter, okay, it was natural to have these things that hold you back, because that was your safety mechanism. That was the thing that was going to help you survive in the freezing cold winter when you had to go hunt down the woolly mammoth or the saber-toothed tiger, right? That those fears are what keep you intelligent and not essentially stupid, right? Because if you do something dumb, you're dead. And if that was the case, the human race would be over by now. But anyways, the human brain today is identical to the human brain, very close. There's tons of research on this. I'm not going to say identical, but very close to that of thousands of generations ago. When we talk about 3,000 generations ago, okay? 3,000 years ago, excuse me, not generations, 3,000 years ago, the human brain that we have today is almost identical to the brain that once existed. So we have these notions inside of us that, lean to scarcity, lean to incentivization, lean to all these things. So when you're creating these microagreements on every page of the website, clearly stating that stock is limited, and then when the consumer finally reaches the product page and sees that indeed stock is limited and there's a stock counter, that's going to increase the desire for purchase. That's going to increase the need for purchase. Does that make sense? Well, why does that matter? Well, the biggest problem in today's world with Shopify is that people are just not getting enough sales. That's the biggest problem, right? And so people don't realize, anybody could design a Shopify store, but not everybody could design it in a way that gets you sales. And so you have to be aware that this feature right here is a very powerful weapon, but many do not use it properly, okay? So now you guys know how to use it. Make sure it matches some of your advertising, some of your marketing, and you have to make sure that the consumer knows before the purchase that the stock is limited, okay? Now, let's go ahead and move on to the trust badge, which this is essentially the place where it goes right here. So let's go ahead and select. So what I like to do with trust badges is, and by the way, guys, every trust badge is different. One of the amateur mistakes that people make is they just grab any trust badge. They go on Google search and they grabbed any trust badge. Now, the reason why I did it is because this store is for tutorial purposes only, but you need to ask yourself for your store, what kind of guarantees are you offering to your consumer, right? And by the way, this secure ordering thing, this is just a dumb guarantee. Everybody in the world of 2021 knows where they're purchasing stuff online, it's mostly secure, okay? So things that are obvious, you don't need to put into the guarantee section. You want to put into the guarantee section, this is the most important thing, or the trust badge section. You know what, guys, from now on, when we say trust badges, just remember, call it a guarantee badge. Do not call it a trust badge, okay? Call it a guarantee badge, because humans want guarantees. Now, when you offer guarantees, you have to ask yourself, what kind of guarantees am I willing to offer? For example, in the supplement industry, there are products that are non-GMO. There are products that are vegan. There are products that are keto-friendly. Those are ideas of things that you would want to put in the trust badge. The common mistake that a lot of people do is they put the trust badge stuff like free shipping or money-back guarantee. The consumer is not going to wait for the product to be free shipping if there is true desire for them to purchase. That is just not true. If a consumer, remember, there's different levels of consumers. When the consumer is truly has a desire for a product, there's nothing going to hold that consumer back from buying the product. Hence, look at Gucci, look at Lamborghini, look at Ferrari. These consumers, not only do they have the money, obviously, but they have a true desire for the product. They're not looking for discounts. They're not looking for a money-back guarantee. They're looking to buy the product. And hence, that's why they spend $500,000 on a car, $5,000 on a bag, $1,000 on a belt. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It is that deep-rooted desire for a product. And remember, when the only time you make a purchase like that is an emotional purchase. It is not a need-based purchase. Nobody needs a Gucci watch, a Gucci wallet, or a Gucci bag, or a Gucci jacket, or a Lamborghini. Nobody needs one of those, right? But we buy it off of emotion. We buy it off of desire. Now, you can call it marketing, you can call it whatever you want, but the main root of it is emotion. Why do you want an object like that? Why do you want to spend that much money for a product that you can buy from anywhere else at a fraction of the cost? It's because of emotion. So, when you're selling to a consumer, you do not sell on logic. That is, that is the opposite, and that is what a lot of people do. They sell on logic. They say, yeah, we'll give you free shipping, 30-day money back guarantee. All of this stuff is amateur stuff. When you see stores doing this, it is amateur. So remember, when you create trust badges, create a trust badge that are going to be the benefits of the product from an emotional standpoint, not from a logical standpoint. The free shipping, the satisfaction guarantee, great. I could go to Walmart to get free shipping, or I could go to Amazon to get free shipping. I could go to Walmart to get, money back guarantee if I don't like it, refund guarantee. But we're not Walmart. We're not Amazon. So we have to sell off emotion and not off of logic, okay? Because these are logical. Now, the reason why I'm using this specific trust badge, I just found it on Google, I'm using it as a placeholder to show you guys something, is that I like to match the color of the trust badge with the color or the theme of the website. So you can see here there's like a gray background, a gray bar here that's going down. I like to have this part gray also, along with the text is gray, okay? I just like to make these small matches. Now, you could do it orange, you could do it blue, you could do whatever color you want. I'm not going to sit here and say that it improves conversion rates because there's no guarantee of that. I haven't tested for that. In the stores that we've created in the past 4 years, I haven't really tested for colors based on conversion rates. The only thing I know about colors for conversion rates is if the background is white, it does have a slight improve on conversion rates, but it's not a guarantee. It just depends on every store. But in general, I don't think the color will make a difference. I just personally like the way the color looks. It looks a little bit more succinct. It looks a little bit more, together. There's this togetherness. This, it doesn't feel out of place. Put it that way. Okay. So just be aware of that, guys. Okay. So here we have our product description, which is aka our description. We have our product additional information tab. Okay. We have our custom tab, which in this case is built as shipping and returns, okay, which is this tab. You can see here it's empty. And we have our display size chart, okay? So the display size chart, right here, you can change the image if you would like. And we have the review section. So you guys will see me in the future. I will add the free reviews app. The thing that you want to understand about reviews, guys, is that the reason why, and I'll talk about photo reviews for just a second. The reason why photo reviews work well, guys, is because majority of people do reviews wrong. Let me repeat that. The reason why photo reviews work well is because majority of people do reviews wrong. Let me explain. Imagine you're going to buy a sawmill. Let's pull up a picture of a sawmill. Okay? Sawmill. And let's see a store here that sells these things. Portable budget sawmill. Okay, so you see this sawmill, guys? Basically what this is you cut wood with it, right? You cut logs and you make them into like big pieces of wood. Okay? One of the biggest issues or one of the biggest worries that consumers have in a sawmill, in the sawmill world, when people want to buy sawmills, one of the biggest problems that they have is they worry about how much time is it going to take to put together. Okay? That's one of the biggest problems they have. When the sawmill gets delivered to their house, this is one of the issues they have. Well, how does it relate to what we're talking about? Well, it relates to what we're talking about with the reviews because people look for reviews of specific sawmills to see the answer to that specific question. And see, when a consumer is buying a product from your website, okay, the review section is a place for the consumer to once again gain microagreements. We've talked about this, right? Microagreements. They want to see the reviews if they essentially corroborate or they agree with or they concur with what the worries of the consumer are. So if my worries are, hey, this sawmill is going to take 17 hours to put together, okay, that's not an exaggeration. Some, it happens to them, it takes them that long to put these things together. Let's say in the reviews it says, wow, it only took me 4 hours to put this sawmill together. Well, guess what? That review would work better than a photo-based review. Why? because it is alleviating the problem of the consumer or the potential objection. You guys have to be aware of that. Potential objections are key. And this is why we create consumer avatars. For those who don't know what a consumer avatar is, look it up. It's essentially a diagram where you understand what the consumers truly like. 99% of the people that are selling in the world today have no idea what their consumers actually like. Okay? But anyways, when you just remember this as a rule, as a golden rule with Shopify. When you alleviate consumers' objections, the sale appears. When you alleviate consumers' objections, the sale appears. Imagine you were selling a product to somebody. They're going to have a bunch of what ifs and wells. For example, if I say, hey, I'm selling this iPhone. You don't know what an iPhone is. Let's just picture you never heard of an iPhone. And I say, hey guys, this has a new operating system. I call it the operating system 12.0. It's got a camera on the back, a camera on the front. It's got super high quality. Here, you could test it out. Well, the people, if they are interested in the product, they're going to have a bunch of objections. They're going to have a bunch of things where they ask about the product. Well, how long does it take to get delivered? Well, what if my product, breaks on me? Or is it waterproof? Is it this? What about this? What about that? These are objections. They're questions, but they're objections, and they make or break a sale. Every consumer inherently has objections, and they look for the reviews to alleviate them. Sometimes, in some businesses, reviews can do the alleviation, or photo reviews. Sometimes, it's the text-based reviews. So just because other people are doing photo reviews doesn't mean you need to do it too. Remember, we're not here to just copy people and just do what we want. We have to think logically about why we do these things when it comes down to building a store. Okay? So be aware of that, guys, please, and use your head when you're doing things. I see so many people and so many clients I've had before in the agency. When I look at their review section, it is the total opposite of what should be there, and it hurts their conversion, doesn't help. So ask yourself, what are the problems my consumer has? How can I alleviate those problems in the review section? If there's somebody who wrote a review that doesn't help, if somebody wrote great product, period, in the review, that is a terrible review. That doesn't mean anything. For the most part, people are going to think it's a fake review. So be aware of that, okay? Size chart is a place that you can rename and a place that you can add an image. It doesn't always have to be a quote-unquote size chart. Any place that describes the product and gives a description to the product with a visible image, you can call it a size chart. Just change the image here. And this is a place, like I said, to show off information. Of course, you have your related products section. All right, so let's just go ahead and save everything we have here. And remember, guys, everything that I'm saying here, this comes together to build a optimized conversion rate. This is why when I say earlier, and guys, we're using the Wolf of Shopify theme here. This theme is built off Wolf of Shopify, okay? It's the Alpha Wolf theme. I've told people, it doesn't matter what theme you get, okay? I personally think the original Wolf theme, this Wolf theme, works great for me. There's going to be some people that will disagree. What I say is, it doesn't matter about what theme you're using, but it depends on how you're using it. It's just like if we went into battle, it doesn't matter if you use an axe, a sword, a dagger, 2 daggers, a shield. It doesn't matter what you use. It matters how you use it. And that's the most important thing, okay? So I don't want to talk too much anymore in this episode. I already talked a whole lot. 18 minutes. We're going to continue this episode, or not this episode, but this series on building a high converting store a little bit later. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and please take away the valuable information that I just said today. I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't thought about it this way when I talk about trust badges or reviews or things like that. But keep in mind that these things are important to get high conversion rates. Everything matters in your store, from the logo to the design to every aspect. And this is why I tell people, like I said, you have to use a theme that represents you in a good light. If a consumer goes to your homepage, right, and sees a website that doesn't look attractive, I personally think this looks pretty decent, right? But if it doesn't look attractive, then what are they going to do? They're not going to purchase unless they're in deep need for your product. And listen, in 2021, and we live in America here. I don't know where you guys live, but we live in America. there's a whole lot of alternatives. Nobody has to buy anything from you. Okay? They could go. There's 100 other people that are selling the same thing, other than Amazon, Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have. There's got to be some attributes. There's got to be some features, some benefits to buying from your business. All right. So keep in mind. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.